Okay, we're back with the GR3 class. We'll be going through a 10-minute qualifying session to determine our grid for the 31-lap feature race. But before we continue on to the feature race, we will have a sprint race that will be in reverse championship order in terms of the grid. So let's take a quick look at the current standings for the GR3 class for the drivers and the teams. So for the driver standings, Toasty right now takes first place with the CrowdStrike Racing Lexus team with 81 points. Hubble Spheres in second place. Stoles in third place with HHR Mazda, and Harm's Way, the other HHR Mazda, in fourth place, or actually tied for fourth place with Jay Silva from the Maelstrom Motorsports Nismo team. Both of them are at 54 points. Then we have both of the Shinra Electric Power Company Toyota cars, Alan and B. Dutra, in 6th and 7th place respectively. Only 1 point separating the two, so really tight field here. R. Ryder in 8th place, Azazel in 9th. Willie.com, the alternate driver, I believe he'll be stepping in for BIR Chevrolet next week. He's currently sitting at 10th place with 22 points. Raleigh Rancher at 11th, Trackhead in 12th, KG in 13th. Bike Guru in 14th. I think Bike Guru will be not continuing for the rest of the season due to some personal issues. And then Flying Disc in 15th place. I believe Goron will be racing today as well. He made his debut last week at Laguna Seca. War Eagle 17th, People 18th. Nixon in 19th, and Djax, I think, making his appearance back for the league today. I think he participated in the preseason race, but he will be participating for the first time for points today. And I believe Dinosaur is in chat, so hey Dinosaur, how's it going?
What's up, man?
How was your race? I know you had that one incident
Intense.
there. Yeah,
Those white tires, man. I was cursing those things for 13 laps every time I went through turn one after that.
But yeah, it almost didn't make a difference. Like, I think, I mean, it did make a difference. I think if you didn't hit those tires, I think you would have easily secured second. But you had that battle with Nasty for the entire second stint after you got damaged. And that was intense.
That battle was quite intense. It was a good one. It was made even better by the banter and the team chat this week.
Yeah, it was crazy because we were watching. You always have to try to take the outside into turn one because Nasty was taking the inside, and then you finally made the pass into turn three, and then it was your turn to defend on the inside for turn one for like the rest of the race.
Yep. And I knew he wanted the inside, so I even though I didn't want the inside line, I went there so he couldn't have it.
Yeah, absolutely epic.
I can't believe he pipped me though for .003 at the end. I thought I held him enough.
Yeah, nope. that was crazy. So like we were looking at whenever you guys were crossing the line, it looked like your car was slightly ahead, but again, I don't know how GT7 calculates the time, if it's like the point at where the driver is or what. So it's interesting, to say the least.
Yep. All right, gonna give these guys a 30-second warning for their qualifying.
All right, while you do that, I'll just cover the rest of the team standings for the GR3 class. So HHR Mazda continues to have the lead with 118 points. Shinra Electric Power Company in second place with 105. CrowdStrike Racing Lexus with 96, tied with Avanti Corsa, also with 96 points. Maelstrom Motorsports Nismo with 86. Bahamut Subaru in 6th place. And Vet Intimidator Racing in 7th place.
It'd be interesting to see what points the Intimidator gets with 2 fill-in drivers tonight. Both the guys that got racing in the place for Bike Guru and KG are wicked fast, so I expect some points out of the Corvettes.
Yeah, VIR has had some not very good luck this whole season, so they need a little bit of luck on their side for the last 2 races to be able to get themselves up from that last position in the standings. All right, so let's jump into qualifying.
Unlike the GR4 class, everybody's going out as soon as the timer rings in this division.
Yeah, so Toasty and Alan were commenting on how like the differences in qualifying between the class are pretty strategic. So the GR3 class, you'll see a lot of people trying to maximize their time as much as possible, likely because they will be pitting during their qualifying session to get rid of their tires and put new softs on every time they want to do a hot lap. But this might be slightly different. Like, I think we might see a little bit less tire wear here at Daytona, since there's not a lot of like, you know, heavy turns for tire wear. So you might be able to get 2 good hot laps instead of 1. But
I definitely think they can probably get 2 good hot laps before they got to pit.
yeah. But again, maybe, and we'll see, like, either way, I think all the drivers want to maximize every second of qualifying. So again, like you're saying, they leave the pits as soon as qualifying starts, and will sometimes even fight for position on track.
Yeah, the GR4 class, there was actually discussion about spacing and whatnot before we left, so a lot of guys were trying to wait, and we were more focused about having enough space to run a safe lap than get every second out of qualifying. And Stoll's in that new liveried Honeygun Honey's Mazda looking good.
They do a good job with their liveries. I mean, their base one is really, really nice, and the one they have today is obviously immaculate. So Stoll starts his flying lap with Toasty not too far behind. Toasty might be able to take advantage of the slipstream down the straight if he can gain a little bit of time on Stoll's in the infield. Going a little deep there into turn 5, I think. Yeah, judging based off of the tire wear, it looks like they will be able to get more than 1 hot lap, I think, out of their tires. Question is, will they take advantage of that, or are they going to be more aggressive with their time and pit between hot laps. So Toasty takes provisional pole at the moment with a 145.3. Stoles in second, and Hubble Spheres in third place, only about 6/100ths of a second behind. So we have
A pretty tight field so far.
Yeah, so we have Anthony Cazzalo's debut appearance here today for VIR Chevrolet.
Oh man, he's .001 off a Hubble sphere.
Yeah,
About as close as you can get.
that's extremely close. Looks like he's currently behind a Zazel right now. So Goran again filling in for, I believe it's Raleigh Rancher in the Avanti Corsa Honda for the second week in a row. And Harm's Way right now getting a slow start to his qualifying in 6th place at the moment. D-Jax, the other fill-in for VIR Chevrolet, also an incredibly fast driver, currently sitting in 7th place. Nixon in 8th, Flying Disc in 9th. It's a tight field. Like these guys are only separated by like a 1/10 of a second. Zazel in 10th, Ryder. Like Allen's only a 4/100ths of a second behind Ryder.
It's super tight all throughout. Toasty's stretching a little bit. Silva hasn't got a time yet. You expect him to jump up into the top half of the field as well.
Yep. So not that many people able to improve on their second hot lap. It looks like D-Jax jumped into 8th place. So Alan Mick does a personal best, but it doesn't look like he improves his position. Zazel currently sitting in 9th place right now, Ryder in 10th. I think if I were Stoles right now, I would just wait a little bit, let Toasty pass me, and then do my other hot lap behind Toasty instead of in front of him.
Yeah, it'd be a little less nerve-wracking. For sure.
I don't know if he did that intentionally, but he did let Toasty through, so...
Oh, it got a 3-second penalty as well for Stoles. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he went underneath that double yellow line there on the inside of the field. Dives into the pits. So Hubble is doing the same. Toasty dove into the pits earlier, so it looks like everyone's going to swap out their tires for one last time and potentially get one final hot lap in towards the end of this session.
I think it's just the top 3 drivers that are going to dive into the pits.
Yeah.
Nixon looks like he jumped in as well. Most of them staying out.
Yep. Harm's Way eventually moved up to 5th place. Jay Silva, not having a time on the board, is now 6th place. That has moved Nixon down to 7th and Goran down to 8th.
Nixon, he's a pretty good showing, currently in 7th right now, moving up from the GR4 division mid-season. Comes in, races a couple races, decides he wants to go to the fast class, and is having a decent showing for himself. Hey, Happy Hippo gave us a follow on the stream. Thanks, Happy Hippo.
Oh yeah, thank you. You did well today. Let's see, who do we got crossing the finish line now? So Stoll's starting his last hot lap. Oh, it goes deep into turn 1. Gets reset, and looks like that's the end of his qualifying.
It's currently sitting 2nd place, not a bad spot to end your qualifying.
Hubble is improved on his time in the first sector, so potentially Stoll's 2nd place right now is under threat. And it looks like Anthony Casallo also is in the pit, so he's done with qualifying. So Toasty firmly in pole position, but Bubble Sphere is setting the purple sector for sector 2.
He's having a go at it. White Avanti Corsa Honda. Bubble Sphere's going
to say purple.
A 10th down on Toasty. Oh, Toasty's also setting purple sectors on his final lap right now, too. He's a little bit ahead of Hubbles here in terms of as far on the track. So Toasty will finish about 8 to 10 seconds before Hubble, but it looks like he's going to improve the time as well.
Yeah, he does. So he sets a
new 144.8.
Oh, and Hubble just misses out.
Oh,
but
145.0.
Yeah, but he gets that
Nice.
2nd place.
Moves up.
So at this point, it looks like everyone else, I believe. Oh, so Azazel's still on his hot lap. And Line Disc just finished.
No, it looks like that we might be all squared away. We're going to just sit here and chill for another 70 seconds until that 3 minutes time's out. I got a couple guys chilling in the pits.
Yeah, so we can go over the qualifying results as is right now while we wait. So Toasty takes pole position with a 144.892, and Hubble, only 0.2 behind, takes 2nd place for the Avanti Corsa Honda NSX. Stoll's another 0.2 behind, takes 3rd place, and another 0.2 behind is Anthony Casallo for the VIR. We got Harmsway in 5th, Jay Silva in 6th. All of these cars are either somewhere between 1/10 and 2/10 behind each other, so they're all like pretty close. Nixon in 7th, Goran in 8th, again, like all within a 10th-ish, 10th to 2/10. Azazel in 9th. Blind Disc only 0.002 of a second behind Azazel in 10th place. That's, I think, Flying Disc's best qualifying position, I think, this season.
Top 10. Only 0.002 off as well. That's super tight.
We're taking a look at the rest of the qualifying positions. We have Ryder in 11th. Not the best qualifying results for him. Djax in 12th. Allen in 13th. And then we got Trackhead in 14th. But most of the field being... if you take a look at like 5th place to what, 12th? It's all within a second. So pretty tight field there. Looking forward to seeing these cars on track and battle it out, especially for the upcoming sprint race that will be...
Yeah, the sprint race is going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because a lot of the new drivers that are alternates will be at the front of the pack, since the grid will be in reverse championship order. So I think it would be Djax and Anthony Colazzo, both fairly quick, will have clean air starting at the front of the pack. I'm excited to see Toasty and Hubble have to battle their way up the field and against each other in the process.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of cars in the way if they want to get a podium in this sprint race. And if something happens and they get stuck in traffic, there is no points outside of the top 10. All right, it's a Corvette front row for the sprint race.
All right, so this is VIR's chance to score some big points. Potentially lift them up from that bottom position in the team standings. I feel like our GR3 drivers have less of a fan club than our GR4 drivers. Our GR4 class has so many fan clubs in chat. It's like really great to see. And then like the GR3 class comes through and it's just like dead quiet. So if you have a fan, if you are following a driver and want them to win, definitely let us know in chat. Yeah, the auto mod thing doesn't work that well. It like auto deletes a lot of comments if you comment too quickly. So I gotta tweak that a little bit to make it better.
Let's see if they catch on to what I'm trying to get at with the R.
So we got the Djax fan club showing up. C Smooth 8, welcome to our Twitch channel.
Well, I imagine the last week when Goran raced with us, Djax was a part of the Goran fan club, so I think they're going to come out extra strong that we got both of them going at it tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Good racing service showing up, supporting their drivers. Always great to see. Speaking of good racing, we're going to have a friendly exhibition with them on Sunday, and that will also be streamed here at LRC.
All right. I got a Yar. He was number 14.
Alrighty.
Blessing Jax, Goran, and Trek had a merry crash.
All right, so the sprint race starts with a rolling start. We made this change from season 1 to make it a little bit more difficult for the runners in the back of the field to pass on the first turn. So we're underway, green flag, VIR leading the pack with the 1-2 right now into turn 1. Looks like Lion Disc making the move on Little Goron into turn 1. We got the two Subarus side by side, Trackhead and Azazel into turn 2. Trackhead taking the lead. Oh, and we got
looks like we got a Nissan out in the
Ryder,
grass.
yeah. Was it Ryder? I think it was Ryder.
Comes back on and makes a little bit of contact with that Subaru of Azazel right there, and then gets a bump in the back from a Honda. It looked like maybe it was Allen.
And Hubble Spheres quickly making his way through, already up into 8th place. Looking to make the pass on Silva into turn 5, 6. So it takes the inside there. Oh, they're going side by side into turn 6, onto the straightaway. So Goran in the other Avanti Corsa Honda trying to keep his lead in front of Flying Disc. He made a pass at some point in the infield to get back into the lead. Flying Disc there looking for... Oh, Goran lets his back end slip out, almost loses control of the Honda there. Loses a spot to Flying Disc, but is able to keep it on track at least. We got a 1-second penalty for Hubble Sphere. That's pretty huge.
A 1-second penalty on Toasty as well, and Anthony Colazzo had to do a second as well, giving up the lead to Jax. That's what happened there at the beginning, at the front of the pack.
All right, so not a great start for Toasty right now. This is going to allow Hubble to close the championship order back up. There's so much going on the track right now. It's hard to keep track of what's going on.
Oh no! It looks like we got the Flying Disc, and that Lexus goes off track coming out of the International Horseshoes, making a safe rejoin, but he's going to lose a ton of spots for going off there. Unfortunate for him. It's like Azazel is just leading a train of cars, all looking to make a pass. It's like a pack of wolves chasing him.
And we got Allen right there in the middle of a sandwich to turn 6. Able to get a good exit though on Harm's way, but he's got Toasty behind him. So back at the front of the pack,
using that draft.
We got Djax again, still in the lead with Anthony Colazzo very close behind, despite that 1-second penalty that he got earlier.
Setting up purple. Well, I guess it's lap 2, so everybody's setting purple sectors right now. But he had a much better exit coming out of the Le Mans chicane than Jax did, using every bit of that draft coming down the front straight as they come over the start-finish line.
Yeah, they're looking. Looks like they're looking to work together to potentially pull away from the field as much as possible. But Nixon there is
he's
on their
closing
bumper.
The gap in that Toyota. They are getting tight in the west side chicane, or the west side horseshoe. Those two Corvettes, but they're holding the 1-2, keeping it clean, not letting anybody else get in there. They're going to maximize the point haul for VIR Racing if they can hold this up.
It does look like they're working together, so we won't expect much battling from them.
No, maybe a Speedway 3 and 4 cent from Colazzo on lap 5 when it's safe.
Silva making a smooth pass there on Goran. who gets a poor exit out of the bus stop and lets his teammate Hubble Spheres by, who's up into 5th place right now.
Yeah, probably some team orders behind that one. It's Hubble Series trying to maximize his points for the Drivers' Championship.
So Azazel right now trying to fend off Fine Disc. Fine Disc takes the inside of turn 1, trying to make it stick, but doesn't have the grip to maintain that inside.
And looks like Colazzo's going for a move in the International Horseshoe. They are coming out side by side. Jax holds the inside line and retains the position.
Yeah, if Colazzo feels like the pressure from Nixon is building, he's gonna have to either ask Djax to move over, or if Djax does not listen, he's gonna have to make the overtake on him. So we'll see if team orders comes into play, like Hubble and Goran, or if they just continue to fight it out.
Is there team orders when they're both reserve drivers?
I don't know. Oh, they scraped the wall coming out of turn 7.
But to your point, Anthony does want to beat Nixon. Anthony may be racing for the first time here with us tonight, but he races Nixon regularly. So those two are quite familiar with each other. He'll want to edge that one.
And Nixon takes the inside of the exit of the bus stop.
Oh, sends it on him.
Pass. We catch that on replay. Look at that. So, yeah, Colazzo gets a little wide there on the exit, and Nixon just capitalizes.
Going to the last lap, Jax is holding on to the lead. Going a little wide into turn 1, but doesn't look like a move. Oh, Colazzo with a smooth move on the inside of turn 1 takes that spot back from Nixon.
Yeah, and Hubble Spheres
looks like he's going to lose a spot to Hubble. Yeah, it's Hubble as well. Silva as well is going to. Looks like he's going to try to sneak through in the International Horseshoe. He's going to make it stick as well. Unfortunate series of turns there for Nixon.
Yeah, that was. I think he broke really deep into turn 1. Really tight train we got going on here for all positions, pretty much. Hubble looking to take the lead. He goes side by side with Djax into turn 6.
Yes. Colazzo takes the lead going onto the speedway.
Oh my God, they're gonna go 3 wide, approaching the bus stop.
The Corvettes are going to use each other's draft to try to contend with Hubble's inside line. This is going to get quite hairy as they approach the bus stop here.
All right, so Hubble's got the inside.
Is Jax going to send it, or is he going to hold off for a second? Looks like they're going to file into the line.
Hubble taking that slight wide entrance to get that better exit.
We might be in for a photo finish here in the sprint race.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Anthony Colazzo's got the lead through Speedway 3. Hubble's got the draft. Jax is behind him as well, pulling some draft. Hubble's waiting for it. He's making the move now. Is he going to be able to hold it out on the outside? Oh, the Honda's just catching up. It looks like the American Muscle's going to hold it out and take the lead. Anthony Colazzo by 1/100th of a second. What a race.
Good Lord. And Goran and Toasty go across the line.
Oh,
with just
wow. Another
100th
of a second as well between Goran and Toasty.
Oh, my God. It was so hard to even keep track of everyone going across the finish line because everyone was so close. Oh, my goodness. So great finish there by Colazzo, maintaining the lead into the very, very last moments of the race. So let's go over the results one more time because we were not able to see any of that while it was happening.
That was a wild race.
Yeah. So Colazzo wins by less than a 10th over Hubble Spheres, who made an excellent drive from the second last position on the grid. Djax rounding out the podium in 3rd place. Nixon in 4th, Silva in 5th, Goran in 6th. We got Toasty, who finishes in the points at 7th place, Azazel in 8th. Trackhead finishes 9th, and Stoles finishes up the top 10. Ryder in 11th, Allen in 12th, Flying Disc in 13th, and Harm's Way in 14th. So not a stellar finish for HHR. Looks like CrowdStrike was able to make some points. VRR definitely the winner here for the team points. And Hubble, though, man, Hubble making up a lot of ground in this race and getting second was absolutely a huge drive from him.
Yeah, so that's going to be the Toasty 7th. That's going to be 5 points gained for Hubble right there.
Yeah.
Well, actually 6 points gained. Well, Toasty got 5 points. Toasty took the fastest lap of the race.
That one fast lap point could be the difference in the championship.
That would be wild.
Everything counts at this point as we approach the feature race and then one more round at the end of the season next week at Suzuka. Yeah, the sprints are pretty nuts. And both classes, really, they get really tight finishes. And obviously Daytona producing the great racing that it does. The sprints here are absolutely wild. So we're getting set up here for the feature race, which will be 31 laps around the Daytona road course. I think we'll expect to see a mix of potentially one-stop strategies and two-stop strategies. Oh, in our Discord, Sunny B says, listen to this. This is pretty great. He says, thanks for the race, everyone. It was an absolute blast. I finally learned what the invisible wall you're always talking about. Looking forward to the next one. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what happened. So we didn't quite catch how Sunny B got damaged. And I think now it's a little bit more clear that he ran into the invisible wall.
Yeah, we just saw him on the outside of turn 1 trying to get back on track. We didn't really know either. But yeah, it's inside of turn 1, there's an invisible wall at Daytona.
Yeah, it's the invisible wall that separates the pit lane from the pit lane exit.
There's also these white tires on the inside of turn 1 that are like as hard as a concrete pillar. Will devastate your car in Gran Turismo. Don't hit them.
Also, you didn't hear this earlier, but when we were commentating on the GR4 race, Hippo had his own livery for when he was running the Subaru. And I was mentioning how his elephant like decals was the Bahamut at home. Like we have a Bahamut at home livery.
Yeah, well, that's a part of the reason why we started as late as we did, because Happy Hippo was trying to get the livery, but he was having trouble getting it. Next week he will be in the correct Bahamut colors.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like we did get to the point where it's like, all right, we're like 15 minutes late. Okay, it doesn't matter. Drive your purple car. Just come on. We gotta go.
So C Smooth in chat is asking why 31 for the number of laps.
Because for the feature races, the GR4 races are 135 kilometers long, and the GR3s are 175 kilometers long. And then if it's close to like being in the middle, I always round up. So 31 laps is about 175 kilometers at Daytona Road Course. All right, so we're gonna start the race here as soon as we get 14 yards.
Flying disc says incident.
We'll count that. All right, I need 4 more. All right, I think that's about most of it. They're having too much fun in the chat right now. We have to get this race going.
All
So the
right, so we
difference
got. Good.
I was gonna say the difference in the tightness of turn 1 between the pack from this race and the sprint race is about to be huge.
All right, 5 lights, and we're underway here with Toasty and Hubble on the front line. Toasty is getting a little bit of like wheel spin on there on the exit, or on the start there. Hubble takes first place, and Anthony Colazzo is not able to capitalize on that, but they come through side by side with the HHR cars into turn 1. Harm's Way and Silva. And looks like the rest of the field got through pretty smoothly.
Well, looks like about everybody made it through there pretty clean.
Yeah. So Silva and Colazzo go side by side through the kink. Colazzo making that place up. Silva there going a little wide, trying to avoid Colazzo's rear end. And Harm's Way able to take the inside, but not completely make the pass. Looks like they're going side by side into turn 6. Silva maintains his lead onto the back straight. Getting squirrely there with the back end of his car, geez.
Tight battles.
It's crazy seeing the controller players course correct their cars because they can like counter steer so much faster than wheel. But like some of the like how sideways they get is absolutely insane. Like watching Dutra do that a lot is always entertaining. So Azazel under attack by Nixon here around the last turn.
Yeah, the Shinra Electric Toyota's having a little bit of a rough start to the feature. We'll see if the long race good race strategy can play into their hands. Speaking of race strategy, looks like most of the field is starting out on the same strategy. We have 11 of the 14 drivers starting to race on mediums, the other 3 choosing softs. So it looks like probably a 2-stop is going to be the preferred strategy in this race.
Yeah. So Stoles makes the move on Colazzo into turn 1. Picks up that 3rd position. As we've seen every race so far, HHR very strong in their overall race pace. I think Harm's Way despite not having the best qualifying session. He's currently sitting in 6th place. He and Silva have been battling essentially all season long.
And stalls. Like the two hooligan honeys and Silva have been like, and every time you look at one of the three on the stream, the other two are there with them.
Yep. That's definitely been the like Netflix like storyline of the season so far. That, and then also the Toasty versus Hubble battle. So this will be a crucial race for Hubble to come back at Toasty in the Drivers' Championship into the last race of the season. Ryder looking to make a pass on Goran. Oh, gets a little bit of contact there going into turn 1, hits the rear bumper of Goran, but Goran looks like he's not affected. Oh, it's good to see. Back at the front, Hubble is leading the pack, but only by half a second in front of Toasty. But Stoll's also very close behind, and Collazo bringing the rear of that train.
Yep, so I'm over here with looking at the live little update on the driver's standings right now. So Hubble gained 4 points on Toasty in the sprint race. Toasty picking up that extra lap, or that extra point. It's going to put Toasty in the lead over Hubble by 5 points. So that's, if Hubble can hold the first place and keep the fastest lap, Toasty stays in second. If the race were to finish like this, Toasty's gonna have a 1 point lead going into Suzuka with everything to fight for.
Oh my god, not again. Oh my goodness. Man, if we go into the final round with a 1 point difference in our standings again, yeah, that's so insane. Oh, it looks like D-Jack's there getting into the grass on the exit of the International Horseshoe. So the field of these cars is still extremely tight. So they're all within a second apart, essentially forming one long DRS train, slipstream train. So it looks like we got someone in the back there. Trackhead potentially made a mistake somewhere, went off track or something. Doesn't have any damage, so luckily he won't have to change his strategy.
Such a tight field up here at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, they almost have identical fuel usage between all three of them.
Like in Daytona too, you can run so many laps, and it's like it's a pretty easy track overall. Like it's not a very hard track to learn or to get the lap right at. So you can just do lap after lap, and it can kind of lull you to sleep. And then like turn 1's actually kind of complex. It can just come up and bite you out of nowhere. So these guys got to stay on top of their game every lap. Can't lose focus here.
Yeah, despite it being a relatively easy track to learn, it's a very difficult track to master. I think the bus stop especially is something that is very difficult to be consistent through.
I love this track. The bus stop is one of the best turns, I think, to really make out places. It's definitely a turn. If you're careful how you go in and you line up your exit early enough and just get on the gas for that long straightaway around, you can make up so much time on the cars around you.
There's a lot of subtleties to this track. I think in the bus stop in particular, I think you were just alluding to it, you can change your lines ever so slightly. And if you're behind someone going into the bus stop, you can take that early kind of like, I guess, apex and then have that better late apex on the exit to get like a run on whoever's in front of you. It's a good track to have these sort of battles on the track, because there's so much back and forth that happens. I mean, as we clearly saw in the GR4 race, right? The battle between you and
Nasty, 32 Nasty.
Yeah, 32 Nasty, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight. It was good. Some of the GR3 guys that were watching the stream that aren't on either one of the team, like, hopped into the chat early and they were just pumped. Like, it's like my heart's beating so fast after watching that battle. I was like, where I should have been in it. Looking at Azazel, Jack's right on his tail. Jack's making up a couple of spots after qualifying in 12th, looking to improve on his race. Now his ultimate mission in both of these races is one thing. He doesn't care where he finishes. He just wants to beat Goran tonight. I'm pretty sure Goran feels the same, but I know Jax has been wanting to race specifically against him on our cameras for quite some time.
Alright, so Djax has a little bit of work to do. Goran currently sitting up in 7th place.
Rogue Panda said Jax is going for the pudding points. Step it up, there you go. Sending it down the inside, looking down the inside.
A little bit of encouragement there from the Djax fan club. I mean, Djax he's putting in the work. He's looking for that opportunity to overtake Azazel, but doing so in the infield is much more difficult than doing it on the straightaways.
He is. You can see it. He's working his car too. Azazel's got much more in the gas tank and on the tires than what Jax does. Looking down the field, looks like Harmsway picked up some damage on the front of his car and dropped back into 13th place. I wonder what happened to him. We'll have to ask him after the race what happened to him early on. Caused that.
Yeah, it looks like the right side of the car, so maybe it was turn 6, the exit? Because that's really the only place I can see that has like a wall on the right side on the exit, or maybe the exit of the bus stop.
I don't know. I could see it on either one of them. I could see Yeah, I guess it would have to be one of the two. It's really hard to lock up one tire on these cars and send it the wrong way into a turn. If you got the ABS on in any type of fashion.
So back up to the battle at the front. Hubble now using more gas to stay in the lead. Toasty taking advantage of the fuel saving that is provided by having a car ahead of you in the straightaways.
Oh. The Toasty looks like he's just comfortable. He's going to tuck in behind Hubble.
Oh, he gets squirrely there on the exit 6.
Try to finish out this first stint of the race to go into the pits. Looks like they got a little gap to Stoles here, who has bridged himself a little gap to Anthony Colasso. But still, those top four are within 5 seconds of each other, so one little mistake and you could be falling back off the podium. Did Alan finally find some breathing room this week?
I think so, but he's got Armsway, who, despite having damage, is gaining some time on him.
Looking behind, Azazel's in the pits on his sauce right now, but it looks like he also picked up some damage. I wonder if that impacted his race strategy at all. I know it impacted my race strategy. I was going to pit at the end of lap 13, but I got damage on 11, so had to go ahead and go.
Yeah. And damage here can equate anywhere between like 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds per lap.
Yeah, well, luckily in my case, it was at 11, and like I said, my original strategy was 13, and the Lexus is getting really good fuel economy, so in a good top speed. So by just shifting in the 7th a little bit earlier, I was able to go 13 laps on a tank of gas without really fuel saving anywhere else on the track.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting damage at lap 11, it couldn't have come at a better lap.
Yeah. I have a bad habit of crashing my car in my in lap. So like sometimes depending on the situation, I can lose like a couple seconds to like, once I think I was racing Toasty, I ended up losing like 10 seconds because I just absolutely destroyed my car on the in lap of my first stint. And I had a pretty bad spin, but there's another race where I did the same thing, but it was pretty inconsequential even though I got damage because I was just able to pit right away. It just seems to be a habit I can't shake.
The gas tank in the Corvette is killing them. Dude, having the damage, like crashing on your in-lap, is a terrible habit to have. I feel bad for you. But it could be worse. Like, you could crash on your outlap.
Yeah,
that would
I know,
be
right?
catastrophically worse.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I think someone did that in the GR4 race. I don't remember who it was, but I remember someone got damaged close. I think it wasn't on the outlap, but it was lap 17 or 16 when they pit on lap 14. So that was pretty rough.
Oh man.
Goran making up time on Ryder and is right up against his rear bumper there.
Yep, Ryder, he started on those soft tires. It looks like he's trying to stick to the two-stop, but those tires are just not going to give him the 10, 11 laps he wants and be competitive doing so. I expect Goran to line up the exit and have much more grip coming out of the bus stop here.
All right, so Hubble and Toasty are now in the pit. Toasty has about a 5-liter advantage on Hubble, and that equates to about a 1.5 seconds. So Toasty might be able to leapfrog Hubble in out of the pits whenever they get going again.
Looks like Ryder's gonna stay out another lap on those burn sauce.
Yeah.
It's risky business right there. If you lose it with no tires, you're gonna lose a lot more than a couple of seconds on your drop lap.
Well, at least it will be his in lap.
It will be his in lap.
So the Mazdas have a lot of tire wear on their rear right-hand tire. Stoll's currently out in first place right now. We'll probably pull the car into the pits.
Oh. Toasty pulls out of the pits right in front of Hubblesphere.
I see it, yep. Into turn 3, Hubble is about a 1.5 seconds behind. Just under a 1.5 seconds, about a second. So that fuel advantage was absolutely key. Both are currently at almost 100%. Yeah, with the positions reversed now, though, Hubble will have the advantage in fuel saving for this second stint. So in the event that Hubble is able to leapfrog Toasty in the second pit stop, Toasty might find it difficult to make the overtake on track in the final stint.
Looks like most of who is out on track is going to dive in right now. So we should see those two take the top spots here in just a few seconds.
Oh no, I just caught Collazo on the spin
I see
there.
it. He's coming out of the bus stop. Luckily had a little gap to Goran. Waits to safely rejoin. That's unfortunate for Collazo.
Yeah. He's got damage too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
See if he dives into the pits, fix that damage right now. Or if he's gonna run for it with it.
It looks like he's running with it.
If I was them, I probably would have pitted just because I noticed that they had to pit on lap 9, which is gonna put them on the average of having to make another pit stop around lap 27, which is not the strategy we want. Like maybe he runs another lap here and then goes in and fills up for gas, fixes that damage, get him back on strategy at the end of the race.
So we got a tight pack here towards the back of the grid, making their way around turn 5. Alan is currently leading, still not able to take a break. He's got Trackhead right behind him, and then just a train full of cars. So there's Azazel, the other Subaru. Trackhead looking to make his way on the inside.
Looks like he's gonna make that move stick as they come around the Speedway 2, approaching the Le Mans chicane, commonly referred to as the bus stop.
Coming back.
No,
maybe.
He's coming back. He takes a little bit of draft and is going to have a look at it. Not going to really do much with it. Just going to follow him through here. Maybe line up a pass on the exit here.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're having trouble with that top speed.
Cuts a little far on the inside. To see if the stewards have another look at that exit at Allen.
Yeah, it looks like in general The Toyotas are having a little difficulty with top speed on their car. So Harm's Way and Azazel side by side ahead of the start-finish line. Azazel now in the front takes the inside to turn 1 to defend the position.
It looks like there's a Subaru in the grass there ahead of them coming out the exit.
Oh man, I think Azazel went off track.
Oh no, it looks like it was Trackhead.
Oh, Trackhead, yeah.
Falling back, yeah, Trackhead went off. Azazel's still fighting with Harm's Way. So they come out of the International Horseshoe through the bend.
Yeah, so Trackhead just went wide in turn 1 and went into the grass.
Unfortunate. These cars are a handful to drive, especially with the traction control turned off, and that turn 1 is quite a doozy. You gotta get the braking just right. It's like straight line braking into trail braking into lifting into a little more trail braking, and it's quite hard to nail it with consistency.
Yeah, certainly. And then also add in all the other factors of your car. Potentially the low downforce, the worn tires, trying to hit that late apex with the little wall of tower of tires there in the middle that act like a cement wall.
Yeah, and every lap, I mean, like, the car, like, especially from when you're going into the pits or coming out of them, the difference in the way the car feels in going into those high-speed turns, like, empty with half-dead tires versus full tank of gas on brand-new tires, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So you gotta make little adjustments every lap to keep up with the car and the track.
So Djax is coming up on Little Goran, and we're gonna have our good racing battle potentially within the next few laps. Djax currently lapping a 147. He just did his personal best on lap 13, and Goran in the 148, so about a second, just under a second per lap slower than
We'll get a
Djax.
little on-track battle. We'll see what happens later in the race. Looking at him now, Jax is going to have to pit quite a bit earlier than Goran due to fuel usage. Yeah, they're going to fight soon, Rogue Panda. They're going to fight soon.
Meanwhile, in the first two positions, it looks like Hubble is using up more fuel than Toasty is, despite being in the slipstream. So this could be trouble for Hubble in the upcoming last stint if he has to fuel more than Toasty does.
Well, looking at his last couple of laps, it looks like he's been running much faster laps than Toasty the last couple. I think Hubble might be pushing here, trying to close that gap. It was a little over a second 2 laps ago. And got it down to about 3/4 of a second now, so maybe he was burning some to get back up in the slipstream.
It's
we'll
tough
see
to
how
say
it plays
if
out.
Toasty is on a lower fuel mode. He could potentially be optimizing by mapping to a lower fuel mode on the straights at top speed. That's one way to do it. And it's a very efficient way to do it, actually, but it's an incredibly distracting process to constantly have to change your fuel map mid-lap multiple times. It is possible, though. So Stoll's able to keep up with Toasty and Hubble. It currently sets the purple sector for, I think, sector 4, it looks like.
Looks like Stolz is looking to beat his own fast lap now. Fighting for every championship point he can get. been holding on to that third place spot in the standings about all season now.
So the field getting a little spread out, but oh, we missed it. So T-Jax makes his way around Goron. Looks like he did it maybe post bus stop or pre-bus stop in the last lap. Doesn't seem like it was much of a battle considering the difference in their lap times, but we're on there, not giving up, giving a quick peek into the inside of turn 3.
Let's see how long Jax can hold the position for. They look to be doing a little better on their fuel this stint in the race. We'll see if they can go longer than 9 laps on that second stint.
Yeah, the trouble is that D-Jax has less fuel, so Goron may have the advantage toward the later half of this race, despite being passed by D-Jax now.
You know, the first thing D-Jax needs to do is take it to at least through lap 21. If he can make it to 20, 21, then he's got a chance of getting away with the 2-stopper and fighting for Goron. If he has to pull off early and potentially 3-stop this race, it's gonna really hurt him at the end of the race in terms of positions and time.
So a lot of stakes hanging on this battle between Goron and D-Jax, it seems. A lot to battle for here. So Anthony's still running with damage on his rear left. You can see how much that has affected his times. He's currently running in the 148s, mid 148s, whereas before he was in the low 147s. So a huge difference there. So Alan coming in side by side with Harm's Way from HHR. Alan taking the inside. Is he able to defend? He is not. Harm's Way taking the 10th position. And
looks like Alan's going to fall back behind Nixon as well, going through the International Horseshoe.
Yeah, Nixon
getting a little squirrely on the exit. Yeah, 10th to 13th. That's a nice little, tight little battle right there. 9th to 13th, excuse me. That's a Bahamut Subaru, a BRZ of Azazel, leading that little pack. As the battle for the lead is getting intense, Hubble has closed the gap down to about a quarter of a second here as they're making their way through the Daytona infield. Hope them really tighten up as they get on the speedway here. Let's go and pull in as tight as they can, reminding me of the MX5 races that IMSA provides us with. They're just bumper to bumper to bumper, get those little cars screaming. If you guys haven't watched them race, you should check it out. Hubble getting a purple sector with the help of Toasty's slipstream.
Toasty taking the inside there on the entrance and getting not as a good exit as Hubble does. because of that shallow entrance there. And now Hubble right on Toasty's tail. I wonder if he's going to make the overtake or if he's going to just elect to save fuel right behind Toasty's draft. And it looks like he's going to save fuel. He's been, up until like maybe that whole front straight, he was gassing at about 60% instead of 100, so.
Yeah, it was really tightening up into the corners here so he can maximize his exit. It looks like he might be going for it coming out of the International Horseshoe. Falls back behind Toasty as they go through the bend coming up to the west side horseshoe. Yeah, once again, looks like 9 laps. Both the Vet Intimidator Racing Corvettes have to get back in the pits. That fuel strategy is going to hurt them in the long run. Unfortunately, it looks like the Corvette is a gas guzzler, and the woeful season for Vet Intimidator Racing will continue. A valiant fight from both Jackson and Taco, though. Probably a real struggle with the car this week. And just seeing some of these where it zooms out, like, it makes you appreciate Daytona is one of those tracks that just looks so much better at nighttime than it does at daytime.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Hubble dives to the inside and
looking for the move.
Yeah,
he's gonna make it happen too, going into turn 1.
So Toasty not defending too hard. Maybe that's part of Toasty's plan to get Hubble to take the lead and allow Toasty to save more fuel. But we will see when the final pit stop comes through for both of them. And Stolz has closed the gap quite a bit. He is now only 3 seconds behind them, but his tire wear is considerably worse, especially on the rear tires.
Well, Stolz is on the softs.
Ah, yes, okay.
So that is probably where he made up so much of his time. Running the faster tire compound, but here at the end of the stint, it's going to start to really pay the price when the grip fades off of those tires. They get used up. It looks like Toasty's just tucking in behind Hubble. Is going to use that draft. He might be trying to save as much gas as he can. But unlike Hubble's here, he is full down on the accelerator, full throttle all the way down the front straight into turn 1.
Pretty tight battle going on between Collazo and Azazel right now. Both go wide into turn 5, and Azazel giving up the position due to that mistake.
So I wonder I'm fairly certain right now we're gonna continue to see Hubble and Toasty neck and neck until the finish line. But look at his strategies and what they did on the second stint. If Stoles goes soft again for the first like 7 to 8 laps of his stint, he's gonna be substantially faster than Toasty and Hubble. I wonder if we could see a 3-man battle trying to take the win here at the end of this race.
Most certainly, it looks like Stoles, on average, has been lapping faster than both of them.
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
entire
saying.
stint,
So
yeah.
another 10 laps. So he's only got to make up 4 seconds here.
Yeah.
He's about the same on the fuel as well. So he's not going to lose any time in the pits.
Yeah, I think
We'll see.
I think it's going to come down to how well he can save those tires and catch up to Toasty and Hubble. Because
He's only got to make up about I don't know, 4/10 a lap, which is quite doable when you're running soft tires versus mediums.
The downside is that Hubble and Toasty will have extra tires, though, to potentially battle Stoles if they need to, while Stoles will have to conserve his tires. Despite them being on soft, I still don't know if, like, the minute he starts battling, those things are going to start to wear away very quickly.
That's true, but if they fight each other a little bit early in this stint and allow him to catch up before his tires start to wear, he might be able to get by him quite easily, and then they'll have to use their tires to pass him back. We could be in for an exciting finish. Looks like he took less gas as well, so he made up about a second on taking a little less gas than Toasty and Hubble. Made up half a second, so we'll see what happens here. He is back on the sauce. Current race leader rider went with mediums for his second stint. The sauce really didn't play out in his favor at the end of that first stint. Probably see him pit on the next lap or two.
So Goran coming out about 3 seconds behind Djax, who likely might have to pit again.
Yeah, I think we're looking at another pit stop on both the Corvettes. I think that car is just not. I think that the fuel economy in it is too bad. It's too high speed of a track, and that American muscle just drinks that gasoline, man. So the race leader rider dives into the pits here at the end of lap 22. Which is going to allow Toasty, Hubble, Stoles, Silva to make a pass. And Toasty with about a 1 second lead over Hubble as they start lap 23. Harm's way back into 9th. Looking to make up for that early damage he had on that first stint that dropped him back into 13th position. Yes, Rope Panda Jax does not have the fuel to make it a fight tonight. Looks like both the Corvettes are handicapped in fuel. How long can Anthony hold off Harms? Probably, maybe until he runs out of gas. It's definitely gonna happen. He doesn't have the gas to fight him for the next few laps. Good debut race, series of races from Anthony though.
He's coming up on Goran right now. It's a significant speed difference. Will he try to make the overtake before the bus stop? Yeah, he does. Takes the
Looks like he's gonna go for it.
Yep, no fighting from Goran. So what are we looking at in terms of the live championship standings with the current finish where Toasty takes first place and Hubble takes second?
Okay, so if Toasty takes first and Hubble takes second, that'll be an 8-point difference going into Suzuka.
Okay. It's a pretty good lead there.
Yeah.
Since there is no sprint race for either class in the final round, there would have to be some kind of significant mistake that Toasty would have to have in the final race in order for Hubble to win it.
But luckily, Suzuka gives us the possibility of rain.
That is true, yep. So anything can happen still.
Yes, hopefully we get a couple of monsoons, make it interesting.
All right, so before we get to the closing stages of the race, if you're just joining us or have joined us recently, this is LRC, this is our league, the second season, and LRC is a racing community for GT7. We hold a lot of events that are non-committal actually, and the league is really the only one that is a commitment across more than one event. So the league is typically 7 weeks long, but in the off seasons we have a lot of, even during the season actually, we have a lot of one-off events that everyone can enjoy and participate in. So if you're interested in joining LRC, definitely check us out. I pinned the Discord invite in chat, so look out for that. I think one of the best values, I guess, of LRC is our sportsmanship and our clean racing.
Yeah, it looks like this week we've had 3 pretty clean races overall. The GR4 race was pretty clean. It sounded like there was a couple of oohs and ahs here and there, but some of that was self-inflicted. Same with these two. I haven't seen too much really happen between cars. A couple of self-inflicted incidents, but super clean racing tonight.
Yeah, Daytona is definitely a course that doesn't pressure you to really fight track position as much here, you know? Like as we've seen with the battle between Toasty and Hubble, it's more about saving fuel and making the pass through the pit stop than it is making that pass on track. It's not like Laguna Seca last week where if you have track position, you can significantly slow your competitors behind you.
Oh yeah, make your car fat at Laguna Seca and nobody can pass you.
Yeah. So Goshen, we stream every week on Tuesday when the league is running, and then we stream kind of one-off events that we have every once in a while depending on if I'm available or not. So this Sunday we're streaming a cross-server race between LRC and another server called Good Racing, which is a close community to ours. We're like sister communities, I guess, if you want to call it that. Or cousin communities, or just good friends.
Speaking of that server battle, we actually have been challenged to another one of those with another server, so there will be a second server battle coming up in the near future as well.
Wait, who's the other one?
Noble.
Noble? Okay.
Yes, so Noble Racing is the home of Anthony Colazzo and Willie and Nixon.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so Goshen, if you can see the pinned invite, definitely join up and join the community. The group of drivers they're all very friendly. They're all very welcoming. A lot of our events are based around learning and improving. So there's sometimes a lot of our events have like a theme to them. Every Wednesday, we have a Wednesday Academy, which kind of mimics a real kind of racing school or racing academy in real life. Although this week we are going to have it on Thursday, and we do cool stuff like the Wednesday practices during the league have been focused on the upcoming track for the next race. We'll do a track walk, like a virtual track walk together, talk about strategies, different things you got to watch out for, racing lines, all sorts of stuff.
And just keeping an eye on this battle for the lead here on the side screen, and it is heating up between Toasty and Hubble. Hubble has made the pass on Toasty, taking over the lead again, which would put us back in that, with Stoles having the fastest lap, it'd be a 2-point difference going into Suzuka, which is the difference. The difference between first and second is 3 points, so it's that close if it remains like this for the final 4 laps of this race. But Toasty's keeping it within a half a second, so the fight is gonna be on. I expect him to do a full send out of the draft here on the last couple of laps. Probably look for it coming out of the bus stop.
Crunchy Not Smooth says, I see Alan is not following my advice and over-revving the Supra.
And looking here at the times, Alan is gonna make that thing last forever. Stoles has closed the gap to within 2 seconds now behind Toasty, so he is pushing up there, trying to close in for these final few laps, getting that battle for the lead. Setting the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap as well with a 1:45.481.
Yeah, you can see them on the background there behind Toasty's car. Toasty's slightly off the pace. He's at a 146, whereas Hubble has been consistently in the 145.8s.
He has. Hubble is close to taking that fastest lap too, making this even closer. He's running this faster right there as well. Hubble just set a blue sector through sector 1. I saw Toasty did as well on the main feed. So both these guys look to be picking up the pace a little bit.
Taking a look at Stoles. His right rear tire, though, is definitely not in great shape.
It's
But
getting there. I don't know if he's
yeah,
making up quite the time he needs to. Looks like he's getting
with 3
about
laps
two
to
to
go,
three tenths
yeah.
per lap.
Yeah,
He'll be
I think it
within.
might not be enough.
He'll be close to him come lap 31, but I don't think he'll be within striking distance unless
Well,
somebody has a mistake.
yeah, that's true. Well, if Toasty and Hubble end up fighting on the infield, which likely won't happen, that'll give Stoles an opportunity. But I think Toasty's gonna wait it out and just stay as close as behind Hubble as possible to see if he can get that
Yeah,
pass in on the last lap down the final
you,
straight.
you gotta try to Daytona. You gotta try to wait to line it up coming out of the bus stop. If you make it any earlier than that, then they can make the pass on you right before the line, like Nasty did to me in the GR4 race.
Yep.
It can get tight, but using that draft, you definitely have a speed advantage. You can shake and bake slingshot around somebody for the win.
Yeah, so Toasty right up against Hubble's rear out of turn 3, less than a second away. Let's see, let's take a quick look at the rest of the field before we get to the final lap. We got Silva in 4th, Ryder in 5th, Harm's Way in 6th, Goron with a healthy lead over Nixon, Allen in 9th. All fairly equal gaps between all the cars. Looks like somewhere around between 3 to 5 seconds. Djax and Colazzo in 11th and 12th.
Looks like the Corvettes and the Subarus had some issues in this race. Probably, I wonder if the Subarus were having the same gas struggles as the Corvettes. It looks like they're all pretty even on the gas right now that they have in the car.
All right, so approaching the straight for the penultimate, to close out the penultimate lap. They're coming up on traffic.
Yes.
It looks like Trackhead is just ahead of them.
Is it Trackhead or is it Azazel? I don't know.
It's
but
Trackhead,
it looks like they're
Trackhead.
going to have a Bahamut Subaru joining them for this last lap leader battle. As Toasty is pulling up alongside Hubblesphere going into turn 1.
I know, sorry, it is Azazel. It's Azazel's in front. So, yep, starting this final lap here, Toasty almost a tenth just behind Hubble. Hubble takes the inside to defend in turn 3, and Toasty getting a better exit, but not able to capitalize on that exit there. I think Hubble actually made a slight error there in turn 3.
Yep, and Toasty staying behind, but that allowed Stoles right there in turn 3 gained about 6 tenths.
Yep.
So he's almost a second behind Toasty as they come into the first speedway section of the track.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so close.
From all 3 of our lead cars right there.
So we know the Lexus has a really good top speed, and I don't know if it was Toasty that was just kind of backing off on his car, but Hubble's got a little bit of a distance there coming into the bus stop. He's gonna need to nail the bus stop and the exit of the bus stop to be able to keep Toasty from getting that draft. Keeps it neat and tidy, but Toasty though is in striking range. Toasty has the draft. Is he going to be able to make it work?
He's pulling up. That time is going down quickly. There's still a good little bit of track here left to make a move.
Oh my god, is it going to be enough?
He's got about a 7-mile-per-hour speed advantage as they come up to the finish line. That time is getting really down there. He's going to go for it. Oh, Hubblesphere's going to hold it by a tenth of a second.
Oh, man.
Oh. It was still, that's going to put us 2 points advantage for Toasty going into Suzuka next week. Oh, that's going to be tight.
That's going to be absolutely insane.
Stoles is going to take 3rd place and round out our podium. We got a little bit of a gap here to 4th place as Silva is coming around. Looks like the Nissans had another good day today. That's going to help them out in the team standings if they can hold on to this 4th and 5th place finish.
Yeah, excellent drive by Hubble, Toasty, and Stoles. Stoles, you know, having a really great season so far. He had that win in Mount Panorama, and then also his podium finish here, just only a couple seconds away from Toasty and Hubble, who've been consistently winning the races this season so
Yeah, well,
far.
the Stolz came into today's race in third place in the standings. Like you said, he had a win at Panorama. That's going to be his second podium of the season, as well. Just going to help him out now. The Hoonigan Honeys Mazda's taking a third and a sixth today. Harm's Way fighting back from early controversy. It's probably going to do really well for them staying near the top of the team standings.
Man, Palazzo almost taking that 10th position from Vine Disc on the last second there. DJ's crossing the line at 12, and Azazel finishing up the results in 13th. All right.
All right, that was quick. Less than an hour. I can share the replay with everybody.
All right, so let's take one more look at the provisional race results. And then I'm sure we'll get Toasty and Alan back in the commentary booth after that race. So once again, Hubble takes first place, Toasty in second, and Stoles in third with the fast lap point. Silva takes fourth. Great drive by him. He's had a relatively quiet race, except for maybe a couple of the opening laps there. He battled a little bit. But a good result here for the Maelstrom Motorsports Nismo team with a 4 and 5 results finish. Ryder in 5th place. And Harm's Way, the other HHR Mazda, in 6th place. Also, a really great result by El Goran, considering his finish in Laguna Seca was less than what he wanted. So, great result by Goran in 7th place. NLR Nixon in 8th for the first Shinra car to finish. And Allen in 9th. Fine Disc in 10th. And then an unfortunate result for the Corvettes today. They had a great sprint result, but again, like we were talking about before, the fuel economy on these is not set up to be really great for racing here at Daytona, ironically. So they finished 11th and 12th, and I think it was Collazo who had the damage at the exit of the bus stop around lap, I think 17 it was. And once again, the Subaru team having some issues today, but they finished 13th and 14th with a less stellar result this week. So great race overall. Great job by a lot of the people who raced and had damage and were able to adjust and whatnot. Yeah, overall, very clean is what we like to see. And once again, these are provisional results. We'll go over the live standings. But at LRC, we apply penalties after the race is over, after reviewing incidents, and these can affect the results and the points going into the next round. So we'll wait a little bit to see if we can get Toasty to the commentary booth.
Well, speaking of points, I'm looking at some of the GR4 standings. Alan's live updating the GR3 sheet right now. Looking back at some of these GR4 standings, it's getting pretty tight in the battle here for 4th place. Looks like Hames and 32 Nasty have run away with the top 2 spots. Congratulations to those guys. You have guaranteed yourself entry to the Alien Division next season, so enjoy your last race with us next week. And then Bishop's in 3rd, but looking here, I moved up to 4th today, but the difference between 4th and 7th is 4 points going into Suzuka. That's
we were
quite tight.
talking about this towards the end of the towards the end of the GR4 race, and conveniently we have the live standings up on the screen now, thanks to Alan. So whenever Alan updates the results, we have them here live on stream. But yeah, it's a tight field for even from third down. Like 7 points isn't exactly a guarantee you're gonna finish in third place for Bishop. So
No,
very
that's
tight field.
yeah. Bishop needs a solid race next week to finish on the podium. Anywhere in the top 5 should guarantee it though for him.
Yep, and then based off of the current provisional team overall points, Avanti Corsa Honda looks like they're in the lead.
They are in the lead.
So let me switch over to the GR3 standings at the moment. So it says Toasty is in the lead with 106 points, and Hubble is in second with 105.
Oh, it's only a 1
It is
point
a 1
difference.
point difference. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's because I calculated wrong. It's a 4 point difference between first and second, so it's 1 point difference. That fastest lap Toasty put in a sprint race is what's saving him right now.
Nuts. Okay, so this is crazy. So Toasty, so Toasty's in the lead with 1 point ahead of Hubble, and then you have Stoles in third place with 83 points, and just behind him is Silva behind in 10 points. So it's kind of a little bit of a gradient. So Silva, Stoles, harms away. And then you have a fight for sixth there with Allen, Ryder, Dutra. Although Dutra, I don't think is going to be competing for the rest of the season. Is that correct?
Yes, Dutra is out. But looking at it right now, even throughout all the tiebreakers, like it'd be the sprint race that would break it. Toasty won a sprint race where Hubble finished in second.
Oh yeah.
If they've tied on points.
Oh my
god.
God.
Yeah, it's all to race for next week for those two guys.
Okay, so let's go over the GR3 class team standings. So Hoonigan Honeys Racing still maintains the lead, but they're only in the lead by 6 points.
6
in the
points
team
over Honda. So Hoonigan Honeys and Honda are top 2 in both divisions. So their drivers are going to be racing for everything.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that
week.
6 points in the team standings is almost like nothing. Like the swings between the teams in every round is way more than 6 points. Yeah. So we got CrowdStrike Racing Lexus in third place at 126. Shinra with only 2 points behind, looking to take that third place from CrowdStrike, but CrowdStrike, I think they leaped into third place after this week. Maelstrom Motorsports Nissan is in fifth place. VIR is moving in sixth, moving up.
And they moved up as well. Great sprint race from Jackson and Anthony Colazo.
Yep. And then we have Bahamut Subaru now currently sitting in seventh place.
Oh my God, bro! Look at the overall team standings.
Yeah, the overall team standings is even more exciting. So the swings between, if you thought the swings between the team standings in the GR3 class alone is a lot, the point difference between Avanti Corsa Honda, who is in the lead now in the current overall team standings, which includes the points from both the GR3 class and the GR4 class, is only a 3-point difference. And that is absolutely insane. That's basically just equal going into the last round.
Yeah.
Either one can take the championship.
Shinra holding a steady third, and then in fourth you have CrowdStrike Lexus tied with Maelstrom Motorsports Nismo Nissan at 204.
That is crazy. So Bahamut Subaru is in sixth, and then VIR Racing still in seventh in the overall teams. But silver lining for them, they were able to move up to sixth in the GR3 class. But yeah, super exciting battle going on between HHR and Avanti Corsa in the team championship for the GR3 class and the overall. And the overall here is kind of like the big championship here, because
the overall team is the one everybody wants to win.
Yeah. So a lot of lot of battles going into this final round. So next week it will be at Suzuka with random weather. So there's a chance of rain in any of the races or during the races. And next week we won't have any sprint races. So it'll be down to the feature race of the GR4 class and the feature race of the GR3 class that will determine the final results of the season. So again, these are the provisional results. Sometimes the results can change depending on penalties applied at the end of the race. So, I mean, but basically, from what we saw, it looked like, Crowd Strike, Avanti, and AHHR were all relatively clean on the opening lap. So I don't think they'll be affected at all, really. But you never know. Anyway,
no,
this is
man.
absolutely insane. Absolutely insane leading up into the final round. Once again, like season 1, it was 1 point difference between the top runners and then a couple points between the teams as well going into the final round. And then we have this once again this season for the league at LRC. Do we know if Toasty or Alan is going to join chat?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, Alan, how was your race? It seemed like you guys
it
kind
was
of struggled
tough.
a little bit on pace.
Yeah, the super just wasn't clicking on today. I don't. It's probably more related to my setup than anything. There was definitely some turns I was taking different lines, I think, compared to other drivers. So it's a tricky course. There's only 4 major braking points, but that's what makes it just so crucial, right? Like, it should be straightforward on paper, but they're all really interesting turns, increasing radius. Um, I don't know how it looked on your guys' end, but I had a pretty intense race with Flying Disc and Harm's Way, and I know Nixon and I went toe to toe on his first race out, so I hope it looked clean. I was trying to be as fair as I could, but it was a good race. I'm
Mm.
exhausted as usual, so.
Yeah, from our end, it looked
Ready for
like it was a
tacos?
really, really, really busy race.
Um, did Tosi do a 2-stop? I have no idea what the leaders were doing. I was way down the field, so.
Yeah, just about everybody did a 2-stop except for the Subarus and Nissans. It looks like they didn't have the gas to go 2-stop. They had the
That's a
3-stop.
bummer.
Yeah.
Darn.
The battle between Toasty and Hubble was essentially just the entire race. They were just within like 2 seconds of each other, like, and stopped on the same laps as well. So it was a pretty intense race between the two of them. And then Stoles was actually catching up to both of them towards the end of the race, but just simply ran out of laps. I think he was maybe about a second and a half towards the end. So yeah, really great stuff. These races will get posted to our YouTube channel. It looks like is Toasty in chat, or is Toasty going to join us?
I see that he's in the other chat. I can
Okay.
go grab him real quick. I know you guys want to hear from the winner, so let me go grab him real quick.
He said winner. I mean, if Hubble can join the party, that'd be nice. It'll be nice to hear from Hubble since he doesn't typically participate in the post-race conferences. It's late out there on the East Coast. It's, I think, 10:40. Probably past his bedtime.
Nice. Looks like we had a new follower in the Discord. It looks like we pick up a 1 or 2 people every time we do one of these streams.
Yeah, we get a decent amount of viewers every time. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, they
it's
see
saying we
the
have
race and it's
11.
like, yo, that's so much better than sport mode. I need a piece of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
All
What's
right.
up, Hubble?
What's up?
Good
Thank you for
race.
joining us.
Yeah.
So
It
talk
was-
us through your race. Let us know, how did it go? And, did it go exactly according to plan? Did you have any mishaps?
Well, I ran the exact strategy I settled on, and mainly the reason it was I originally started with a 10 or 11, 10, 10, but then I realized tire wear was so much better the later in the night it got, so I opted to do the shorter kind of first stint where I could push and not have to worry about the fuel as much, and didn't know what would happen. I was gonna read what the pace everyone else was. I was like, can I break away or will I be like drafting? And seemed like I was like just on the cusp of breaking away for the entire stint, but never actually did.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Toasty had better fuel consumption, so he jumped me in the pits, and then I was like, okay, I just have to get back in the slipstream range, and we were talking about it post race. It seems like my car just had so much better potential in the draft than the Lexus, maybe just because it has a smaller frontal area and it can just slipstream
Yeah.
more effectively.
Yeah, like a thinner
Um,
profile essentially.
yeah, so I was so much stronger and able to overtake, on the banking where, when he was behind me, he just couldn't get the run
Yeah, it
for
looked like
whatever
on that
reason.
final lap he was gaining quite a bit, but then as soon as he pulled out to the side of the
Yep, it
slipstream, his
stalls.
pace just dies. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which I did, same thing happened to me on the sprint too, if you saw with the Corvette. It's like I pulled out of the slipstream on the Corvette and stalled out
Mm-hmm.
completely.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
I don't know. It was a good race.
All right. Well, congratulations to
Oh,
Hubble.
thank
You
you.
are now 1 point behind Toasty in the leaderboard. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
that
wow.
already. Yeah, it's one.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
Toasty's in the lead with 106. You're in second with 105, and
all
then
right.
the overall so the GR3 team standings, Avanti Corsa is in second behind HHR, only by 6
Yep.
points,
Okay, they're close
and
there.
then Avanti Corsa has taken the lead in the overall team, and Avanti is
Nice.
ahead of HHR by 3
Hey,
points.
hey,
So
Yeah.
my
extremely
goal
tight.
my goal was to take the overall team, so if we can manage that,
Right now, you
I'll
guys
be
got it
happy.
by 3 points.
No.
Yeah, which is essentially nothing. So very, very tight
But
going into the final
yeah,
round.
we have had everyone's had a tough season with driver changes, so
Yeah.
we have had our fair share as well. But
All right.
it's been working out somehow.
Sounds good. And is Toasty in chat?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. So Toasty, talk us through your race and that unfortunate attempt at the pass to the final stretch there, but not quite able to make it.
Yeah, I had pretty much the same experience with strategy as Hubble. I just went in thinking 10 laps, 11 laps, 10 on mediums, and that's what we did. So I saw on the first stint, I knew I could do one more lap, but I just went to see what he was doing, so I could stay in the slipstream. But ended up jumping him in the pits because the fuel efficiency of the Lexus was pretty much the only thing I had going for me. It was the only advantage. Yeah, the wind was really wreaking havoc with the car.
Mm,
Traction was pretty horrible out of every corner, so I was just doing my best to stay in the slipstream of Hubble after he passed me a couple times and trying to stay close enough at the last lap to make a move. But yeah, you just launched away from me there.
all right.
But
So
overall, it was a good race.
that's great. So thank you to you guys. Absolutely epic race between you two. So next week, again, we are heading to Suzuka, the final round of the league, season 2. Again, the drivers' standings between the drivers here of the GR3 class extremely tight, and the team championships also extremely tight. So again, we'll be streaming next Tuesday for Suzuka. So please follow and join us there, and we'll see you soon.